Welcome back. This is how you wanted to spend your time. You want to watch a video watching a man with a receding hairline, mild case of balding going on, though he's pushing 40, so that would be expected. But you want to see a video of how this man fixes his hair in the morning. So I think, can you tell that I'm dripping? I mean, I am dripping with water. I so just got out of the shower. So I'm going to show you how my hair looks. There we go. And of course, as you know, I am still using BRB shampoo. I'm down to basically my last bottle. I am using that, and you be the judge on whether you think it's maintaining or restoring hair loss. That's still going on. I still have the shampoo and I'm still using it. With that being said, when I get out of the shower, first step I do, I get my towel and I get all the excess water out. And also, you could tell my hair kind of looked parted. I think by default, while I'm in the shower washing my hair, I'm basically like washing it, but I'm also probably putting it to the side. Now, when you look at my hair wet, you can also see what appears to be a detaching forelock there. So, and I want you to keep that in mind, because when you see my hair and it seems to look pretty decent, but when it's wet and it's like, it feels like it's, Maxwell Smart said it's a cowlick, but it ultimately feels more like a balding spot right there. Okay, so there you go. I get all the excess moisture out there. Okay. Once I get it to about like that, then I get out the blow dryer. Now, I want to point out, back in May, back when I was buying my Jeep, back in April too, I had a hairstyle where my hair was longer. It was like, what, nearly 4 inches on top, and I was pushing it straight back. It was cut really short up here to allow for all of it to go back, which is why, if you look closely, my hair is a little bit shorter than it should be right up in here, because it's still growing out from that. But from having that hairstyle, that's when I learned to blow dry my hair. And I had this mental block on it at first. I'm like, is that a little too, how do I say it, metro, to like be a guy who uses a blow dryer to fix his hair? But ultimately, for me, I justify it because it speeds up the process of getting ready in the morning. So, but by doing so, it also in turn helps fix my hair, because if I don't use a blow dryer, my hair is just kind of like more clumpy and doesn't have a shape. So for the task of having a simple, low maintenance hairstyle, the blow dryer absolutely now is something I fully endorse, and it's my wife's. But it's funny, no matter where I go, there's a blow dryer. Last weekend we were at the Hilton and there's a blow dryer. Go to my parents' house, pull open a drawer upstairs, there's a blow dryer. So here's how I personally do this. Here we go. It's funny because while I was doing that, some of you noticed. Now, I will say, yes, it's a little thinner back there. It's also an illusion though, because I've got a window right behind the camera with direct sunlight shining right on that one part, a round part of my head. And when I'm putting my head like that, it makes it real obvious. So I know it's going to be easy to focus that on the video. But in reality, if I'm standing further away, it's going to look more like that. So yes, if you're looking directly above my head, you can notice that. And you know, that is, I'm sure, part of my future. If nothing else, maybe by the time I'm 50, I will, if I still have hair on here, I will have a noticeable bald spot right there. I'm very aware of that, and I wanted to point that out because I knew other people would. And also, the whole thing about this, and it's like the show Impractical Jokers, by default, one of my favorite shows. Those guys, and they recently said it, they want to age in real life. Yes, they're celebrities, and yes, they're millionaires, but they're just regular guys. And that's all they ever claim to be, and they want to age in real time, which is very important to me, that that's what I do with this channel. So with that being said, you saw how I used the blow dryer to fix my hair. And ultimately what I was doing, you notice I was putting my fingers through, I was feeling to see how dry it was. Now there is still some moisture in my hair, I admit that, and I like to have a little bit when I fix my hair. One option I could do right now is to get the pomade and go straight back and push it back, which sometimes I still do, but I'm making this video in a way that will help more people watching, because I think more people watching would want the version in which I keep downplaying the hair loss that I do have. So here's what I'm using these days. LA Looks Wet Look hold 10. I used to have the yellow bottle that would hold 9. This stuff costs like $2, if that. I buy it at Kroger here in the United States. In Tennessee, we have Kroger, and that's where I get it. But I went back to get, after I used the last one, the yellow one, number 9, and then they didn't have it. I'm like, 10? Okay, let's do 10. It's all really the same to me. So here's what I do. Keep in mind, I am no professional, I'm no barber. I am nothing more than a hair loss entertainer. But what I do, I get like a pea size, like, the vegetable, whatever that's supposed to be, the little green pea. I do like this. This is just how I measure it out. I made this up. I invented this process. Then I rub it in my fingertips. And then for this hairstyle where we're downplaying the receding hairline, what I do is I want to basically have like what I call it a barrier. I secure this here, just basically around the crown is what I do. I leave, Maxwell Smart taught me this, I leave this without product in it, but the crown is really where the product goes. So here's how I do it. So I just first of all, I want to make sure that this is kind of laying down instead of push forward, just a little bit right there. And then right here, I make sure that this part, this vague part here, is going in the correct direction. While I have, now I'll start putting it there. And now here's what I do for this part. I just want a very slight, like that. Yeah, and it's funny because since I've bought the Jeep, it's almost like I've learned how the wind blows through my hair, and I use that concept with the blow dryer. And then this, I use very little product, but see, that's all I did. I mean, it's like I barely tapped my hair. The whole concept is this is a very simple, basic, low maintenance hairstyle. With that being said, yes, I can make a 9, 8, 10 minute video about it, but I'm definitely talking a lot about a lot of other stuff involved in the process. So there you go. I mean, that's it. How long does it take me to fix my hair in the morning? I could truly say maybe 90 seconds. And I've done videos about that, even with the other hairstyle, which was more higher maintenance. I was able to do it in about 90 seconds. Now it's less than that, and it's just a very basic hairstyle. So if you're considering this hairstyle, if you have a similar hairline and hair density situation, it's about 2.5 inches on top, and it was a number 5 on the sides and the back, and the part is very vague. With the disconnected part, it's like, oh, you shave your sides and you have a much more prominent part. But with this, it's just vague. And I think if you're not trying to be so trendy and keep up with whatever the cool hairstyle is, you can just have this very basic, we may even say soccer dad hairstyle, I mean, and it's funny because do I look nerdy with this? Do I look necessarily like I'm not cool? Like I'd be the guy that tucks my t-shirt into my shorts and wears long white socks and just, no, I don't think so. What I'm saying is I don't think there's anything uncool about this hairstyle. This is very basic, and I think we need to celebrate basic. I think we need to embrace basic. I think the concept of this is what's normal. A receding hairline for a guy is what's normal. What's not normal is the low framed in hairline and full density. That's not normal. We need to at least see some temples receding, which I feel my temples actually aren't even receding that bad, but more of it's going up this way more so. But I mean, there's guys that'll have a flat straight across line here, but then their temples go back really far. I feel that my temples really don't. But the point is, what's normal is to have a hairline that is not boxed in like David Schwimmer from Friends. That is not normal. I think there's definitely an unspoken masculine tone that goes in this whole concept, when you do have some sort of receding hairline, whether it's Norwood 2, whether it is closer to 3 like mine, a lot of people still will say mine's only 2.5, but whatever it is, it's a matter of what simple hairstyle can I manage to still look good and not bring attention to it. Because often what happens is if you try to be too trendy, then you may actually bring more attention to it. And I think for me, with the undercut, I can get away with it, but ultimately, probably what's going to look best on me for a hairstyle is something this basic. And I had already showed you before a couple months ago when I got this hairstyle. There's one of my favorite country album by Dierks Bentley. My favorite country music album ever is by Dierks Bentley. The album is called Riser. And I just had the CD and I took it in. I said, do this. I've had 2 haircuts since then based on that. And 2 different ladies cut my hair, great clips. And I said, here you go, just do that. And each time the hairstyle was a little bit different. It was their interpretation of what they saw. But basically, you know now, about 2.5 inches on top, they use the clippers number 5 on the sides and the back. So there you go. You know where your comments belong.